The Bigfoot Wars of 1855, dude.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, dude. These Bigfoots were stealing children.
Oh, no, here it comes.
And they had to go to war with them, and Native Americans and U.S. military worked together and took these guys out. Listen.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to the show. Feeling good with Duddy. That's me. Let's go.
Yes, hello. Welcome back. We're glad to have you. We've got another great show, another episode of Feeling Good with Duddy. We've got a stand-up comedian and podcaster and so much more, Sam Tripoli. You guys are going to lose your minds. And we've got your favorite segments, No More Words, Scary Zone, Poopersville, Band Camp. Here's your host, Duddy B.
Yes, feels good to be back. As always, another episode of Feeling Good. And you know what? Before we get started, if you have been listening to the show and you've been enjoying it, please leave us a review. Give us a rating. 5-star if you like it. 1 if you hate it. Leave us a good rating. Leave us a bad comment. Whatever. But it helps us keep the show going. It really does. It helps us get noticed. And we love putting the show on. We want to keep it going. So if you've been listening and you enjoy it, please give us a comment. Give us a rating and tell your friends. It really helps us keep the show going. Thank you for all of that. What else, Jake? Oh, last night.
Yeah, so let's get into it. Duddy, last night you went to Kill Tony.
I went to the Kill Tony show. Oh, my God. And I think we've talked about that podcast a couple times.
Yeah, and we had Joelberg on the show.
We had Joelberg on the show.
You guys know Joelberg from the Kill Tony band.
We love that podcast. So we got to go last night up to the Comedy Store in L.A. and watch it. And we had such a good time. But I'm paying the price a little bit right now.
Oh, yeah, Duddy's a little hungover. And I didn't get to go last night. And I told Duddy, too. I go, you know what? That's good. I go, because I'm going to be completely sober. I'm staying home with my little 9-month-old boy. And I go, you'll probably be hungover. Duddy goes, no, I won't. He's all, I'm going to have a couple drinks, dude. It'll be fine. And I'm like, you're going to be hungover, dude. I know who you are. I know the Reamp team. You guys are Ubering to LA. You're going to Kill Tony. And sure enough, they all showed up hungover. But,
oh, yeah.
I mean, but they all showed up.
We had
That's all that fucking matters. We
had a great time. But it was, the best part is we get home. We get back to my house at 11 or something. And we're sitting in my garage because my kids are sleeping and they got school in the morning. So I'm like, let's just hang out in the garage for a sec. We have another beer or two. My brother-in-law's there with his cousin, Ben, and we're just chilling and having a drink. And it gets to 1. And I'm like, you guys, get the fuck out of my house. It's time for you to go. So they call an Uber and we're sitting there hanging out and the Uber pulls up and I'm like, later guys. And they walk down the driveway and the fucking Uber drives away and my brother-in-law comes walking back up my driveway. I'm like,
you're on your way to bed. You're like, what the hell are you
doing? He goes, oh man, I actually just decided. I was like, you know what? I'll get my own Uber. I was just going to have a couple more drinks. I was like, dude. So yeah, 2 a.m. comes around. I'm like, really get the fuck out of here. So yeah, but
shout outs to Tyler.
Shout out to Tyler.
Making you hungover.
I bet
today.
he's still asleep right now.
Oh, yeah.
But we had a great night. It was worth it. And I'm really excited about this episode today. We have a hilarious stand-up comedian. Mm-hmm. He's also got his own podcast, Tinfoil Hat. And
also comes from the Comedy Store where you were last night. He was a doorman there at one point.
Yeah. And let's just get it going.
Let's get
bring
it
him on
popping,
in.
dude.
Today we have Sam Tripoli on the show.
Get up in here, bro. Yeah.
Boom.
Yes.
And it begins.
Look at that.
What a fucking entrance.
Look at that triumphant.
In the saddle.
For the listeners, he push kicked the door open. Wow,
I saw
dude.
the Von Damme shirt.
Yeah, dude.
Von Damme style.
Dude, Von Damme. I love the pronunciation.
Dude.
Have you seen Bloodsport?
Dude, seen it, lived it, bro. I'm taking Krav Maga right now. I go hard in the paint.
He's going to the Kumite.
Dude, I love watching old Seagal movies.
Oh, yeah.
And Van Damme movies. And just going, how did we love these? They were so big. You look at how slick the Rock movies are now.
Oh.
And you look back at those, and you're like, those were our, dude. We had dad bod superheroes, right?
For sure.
Seagal had such a dad bod.
Seagal barely moved.
It was so great.
Dude, and the best thing ever was how he ran. If you watch skinnier Seagal in the 80s movies, Tom Cruise runs like he's the fucking greatest runner of all time. Seagal, just go back to I think it was fucking Above the Law is the one.
Okay.
He runs, his little arms are flapping out. And I'm sure it's probably the anatomic correct military way because he's into that shit, but it doesn't look good on screen.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Compared to Tommy Cruise, just
like have you seen have you seen Tom Cruise versus all the cast of the original Top Gun? Like they're decaying horribly. And he still looks exactly the same.
Yeah. The new Top Gun trailers came out. And I'm like, guy looks exactly 6 years older maybe than the last Top Gun.
Dude,
and Val Kilmer
with the kid. The kid looks older than him now.
Oh, what was that? Jerry Maguire?
Yeah.
Dude. So that's got to be so weird to be that kid. Because that kid, when that movie came out, you were like, did you know that the human head weighs 7 pounds? And like, he was like the cutest kid in the fucking world.
Yeah.
And everyone was just like, holy shit. And now he's just like an old guy.
Yeah.
That's got to be weird.
That's a strange child star.
That happens to all. Dude, we were looking at videos from 2 years ago, and I'm punch drunk. We've aged so much. I cannot believe it.
It's my face just keeps getting rounder and bigger, and redder,
and he's growing a beard. That's why you're doing that, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to cover up the red round face I got going on.
You know, we are entertainers. We've done a lot. I feel like for me, man, growing old isn't as bad because I did all the stuff I really wanted to do. I think you get really like upset, and you kind of you start getting that like. That midlife crisis when like you're at a certain age and you didn't do a lot of stuff you wanted to do. And we were kind of talking out before the show about like podcasting's great. We did it. We toured. We did everything. We want to stay home with family and friends now, and we don't want to go on. Like it's a good vibe. Dude.
It is a good vibe. You know, it's funny. Like, and not even not talking shit or like, oh yeah, I've done way more. But like, I'll get home from tours or whatever. Now I'm like, all the friends hit me up. Let's go out to the bar. Let's do this. I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
I'm good. You never go out and do anything. That's all I've ever done.
Yeah, that's my job.
We do shit during the day now. Yeah. And this is hanging out. Yeah. Like, this is my favorite hanging out.
Oh my God, this is so fun.
Talking about precisely what we want to talk about. If you just go meet up with people, you end up talking about some dumb shit that you're like,
oh my God.
I couldn't care half the time. So the podcasting thing, it's like you're talking about exactly what you want to talk about with interesting people.
I would go meet my family when I go back east to upstate New York, and they'd be like, "Hey, you want to go to a comedy club?" It's like, no, I don't want to go. That's where I live. Yeah. I want to do anything but that.
Dude, all friends hit me up. Yo, you want to jam? Fuck you. Ooh, yeah. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
No, the answer is no.
Golf? Okay, you're in.
Yeah, let's go golf. Let's go golf. Hey, you want to sit here and stare at the TV? Yep.
Yep. Every night.
I just want Netflix and chill so badly. But more chill than anything else.
Oh, dude, I love nothing more than a show that I really don't even care to watch. Dude. It's just on, and I'm just barely paying attention. I'm just breathing.
I was watching on HBO. Well Groomed. Have you seen that?
No.
It's like these people who like get poodles and they groom their hair and they paint them, and
I can see myself watching the shit out of this.
Dude, I was like, I love this.
Oh yeah.
I love watching anybody who masters something, dude. I could and dog grooming, like this newscaster just was like shitting on him. I'm like, that's so these people, like, it seems like crazy until you're like, that's an art to itself. And I love watching the process.
When those poodles are groomed, we've all seen it's fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Little balls. Yes. And it's like, I wouldn't want my dog to look like that, but I can sit there and appreciate a perfectly goddamn comb. I'm a damn barber. That's what I do. I could never do that to those poodles.
They'll do like Jurassic Park scenes in them.
Shit, really? I need to see the show
World. Now. They'll paint them all up. It's fucking
on the dog.
On the dog.
See, I'll watch those fucking cake shows. I'll watch. They're making beautiful cakes.
I'll gladly watch a dog. I kind of get bummed out when I'm flipping through channels. I love the Food Network. I'm always, but when it's the baking show, like the baking challenge, I'm always like, God damn it.
Yeah.
I can't get into the baking challenges.
Because it's just they're putting it in an oven and waiting. It's not as hands-on.
It's like all you did was put this hard-ass sugar layer over it. Like, no one wants to eat that fucking thing. I don't know. That's just me. That's me. I like to see them cook the meal like an actual fucking meal, whatever. Like the baking challenge and then
it's hard to taste the cake when you look at it. You can see them make a meal and you're like, oh, I fucking can want, you look at a cake, you're like, maybe it's good.
Yeah. But do you guys have pets?
I do. I have dogs, cats.
Would you leave the TV on for them when you leave? What do you leave on for them?
Okay, so my favorite thing to do, and my wife always laughs, but it's just because it's so beautiful and nice and peaceful, I leave golf.
Dude, that's a great answer.
Yeah,
no one's ever said that. I talk about my girlfriend wants to leave on like Animal Planet.
No.
I'm like, dude, that's like Saw for animals. That's like
a lot of murder. A lot of murder.
Yeah.
Animal snuff, and then
they're just scared all day.
right? They come home blackout drunk, drink,
Yeah.
But golf is a great one.
It's nice because they're just talking really peaceful and nice. And
it's all
just
day
beautiful
long.
It's outdoors. Birds are chirping.
Aerial America would be
great.
a good one.
Yeah.
I fucking love that. Did you ever watch Aerial America?
No.
That's all it is drone footage over the states of America and people narrating what these landmarks
What
are.
is that?
That's it.
Is that a YouTube
It's on
channel?
the History Channel.
I
or
could
one of
probably
those.
watch
A&E.
that forever.
It's it.
Forever.
Dude, it'll be like Idaho. You're like, I don't know, but from the drone and when they're explaining everything, it's the most. I want to go everywhere
could do
because of
it.
Aerial
It's my
America.
new favorite show.
It would be a great one for the pets. Yeah. on the golf.
They
tip.
have
Yeah.
dog TV, dude, and
No.
it's a 5-hour video that you leave on for your on your television, and it's meant to be for your dogs.
No.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? What do they do? I gotta know.
It's just like some dude got just like lowers his camera and does it from a dog's perspective.
Oh my
It's
God.
dogs playing. It's like birds chirping and like. It's 5 hours, so you leave it on, but I'm just wondering if like some weird like demonic shit comes in about an hour in when you're not there.
You're not because
Telling your
Eat
dogs
your
to kill.
master.
Yes, exactly.
Do you think there's someone who watches it all? Oh, I love this part.
So he runs around the yard and shit and looks up. It's like a virtual reality dog thing. Oh my
man.
goodness.
We've gone too far.
I'm so mad I
We've
didn't think
gone
it's
too
so
far.
simple. It was right. It's sad and amazing. What a genius thing.
And I'm sure people watch it all the time, and it's so long that if you do like YouTube AdSense pay, dude, they must be banking.
They're
dude.
peppering in commercials in there?
Yeah, the dog doesn't know. The
Okay.
dog's
Nope.
watching a bird. Suddenly, like Blue Chew ad comes on. Right?
I hated them at first, and now I'm like fucking genius. God damn
It is fucking genius.
People will do anything for their pets, so it's like you make that, and you're like, yeah, it's a fucking gimme.
And then they because I have a kid, I have a 9-month-old son, so I have these little cartoons that are on.
yeah.
Like you put it on YouTube, it's like a 2-hour loop of cartoons singing, and all of the commercials that pop up are obviously for the adults.
Yeah.
But they think I'm rich. I live in Newport Beach, which is a rich ass city, but I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. I'm barely clinging on to Newport, and so it's all realtor shit to me. Like, want to buy this $1 billion mansion? I'm like, skip.
Yes, I
motherfucker,
do.
skip.
Oh.
Yeah, dude, it's all I get. So
You know what though? But if you sign up for our Patreon, maybe he will get that mansion.
That's
one
right.
day.
Help him out.
You know
dude,
what? You know,
I'm
just
looking for a Lamborghini boat mansion. Hook it
$5
the fuck up.
$5 a month. You can sponsor someone like Jake.
Yeah. Get me out of that one Betty, which it's I got a nice view, but I have 4
You got
people.
a nice ass fucking spot in
I got
Newport
a nice
Beach,
spot in
right
Newport
by
Beach.
the beach.
Yeah. Right by the
Fucking
beach.
That's
sounds
like
complain.
a
terrible.
mansion in Cleveland.
It
That's
is.
the equivalent.
It's the price of it.
Yeah.
I swear to
Oh,
fuck.
yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, it sounds like fucking terrible.
I got my mother-in-law living with us right now too. Because we both work.
You're
and so
a
there's
champion.
4 of us in the 1 bedroom. So if you want, go ahead and donate on Patreon, dude. Get me out of that
Help
one
him
Betty,
out,
dude.
man.
Give me an extra
Dude,
room,
dude.
It's all good. I sleep in the living room.
I'm
with my
on the
wife.
fucking phone with Jake the other day, and he's like, "Hold on, I got to go down to my car so I can take a rip." I was like,
Yeah,
"No,
how's that? I'm
Jake,
smoking pot in my car again, like
no."
I'm 7 because my mother-in-law's in the house.
Oh no!
And she's from the age where weed is like the devil's drug, right?
She's Korean.
You're
so
gonna
it
be-
doesn't make sense to her. She's like a Korean Christian. She's fucking
Everybody
awesome.
moves in their Asian mother-in-laws. My
Yep.
buddy Tully on Jason Ellis's show.
Oh, I
his
love that
mother,
show.
yeah, dude,
Yeah.
Ellis is
Yep.
great. His mother-in-law lives with them too. I don't know if I
And
should
it's-
blast.
yeah.
I'm like, oh,
She's all,
fuck,
hey.
I'm sorry, Tully, I love you.
She's not supposed to be here. No,
Whatever.
Yeah, dude, it's great though. She's cool as fuck, and dude, we can both go to work and don't have to worry about the kids. So worth it. That's why Tully is doing it.
For sure, man.
know?
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but we do sleep in the living room floor. It's kind of a little funny, and I smoke pot in the car. So.
But speaking of the Jason Ellis show, like, they have one of the funniest segments ever that I love, and I always fucking talk to my friends about how it's called "Gay or Not Gay."
Yeah.
Have you heard this? It is
Yeah.
the best, and it's just people call in and they tell a story of
Yep.
something that happened, and then they decide if it's gay or not. And it's just the fucking, and there's one story that I heard one time that I'll never forget this, because I still to this day call my friend Rome, I call him Romulus.
Yeah.
Because of this story. And it was like, this guy goes, so this one time, I'm with my friend Romulus in his dad's sweat den. He was like this Indian dude, and we're in his sweat den getting all whiskey drunk, right? And like I go out to smoke a cigarette, and when I come back in, Romulus is like passed out with his own buck snot on his stomach. Is that gay or not gay? And the guy's like, well, and Jason's like, well, technically, you were outside when he jerked off, so not gay. I was in my uncle's sweat lodge getting whiskey drunk with Romulus. It was just like, this is the best story ever.
Fucker? Damn it, we got to steal that segment.
Yeah, we got fucking sidetracked. So
yeah, Duddy, I love that. Duddy just did a segment from another podcast that was just brought
ever,
up.
Dude. My
We didn't even plug your podcast, so let's get into you a little bit before we start going nuts. Because basically, Scary Zone and No More Words and Poopersville, the segments that everyone who listens to the show loves. We can already tell you they're going to be fucking out of control today. That's going to dominate the show. Oh, it will. I already know. So let's just get into you real quick. What are your podcasts? You've got 2, soon to be 3.
Yeah, I have Tinfoil Hat with Sam Tripoli, and that's spiritual skepticism of the official narrative, otherwise known as conspiracy theories. We just talk about the unreported. And then I have a podcast. It's one of the original comedy sports podcasts. We've been doing it for 8 years. And then I'm just starting a new one called Broken Simulation. And it's basically just me and my buddy Johnny just talk about our lives and the crazy stories that just make us think the simulation is somebody poured like liquid acid on it or some shit like that. It's just meant to have fun because everything else I do is so niched. I just wanted to have something more broad and not so serious.
Nice.
He loves podcasting, guys. 3 and a stand-up.
I love it, dude. I love talking. I like about 6 months ago, I kind of sat there and I go, you know what? I want to use the Jerry Seinfeld approach to stand-up, which was like he saw like guys, all these construction workers, they'd show up at like 9 in the morning, they work, and he's like, I'm going to do that for stand-up. And like I said, I'm going to do that for podcasting because most of your comics have a side gig, right? Like they do stand-up, or Joe Rogan does UFC, Chris D'Elia does acting, Whitney Cummings, he's a show. They all have their side gig. Well, I said my side gig is stand-up. Is podcasting. I want to focus on that. So, like, if I had a radio show, which when I was young was my dream, I just could never make that happen. I would be there every day for whether it's 2-3 hours a day. So I'm going to approach that, and I'm going to try to do as many podcasts as possible on different subjects. They're all the same podcasts in a weird way because it's me, but like depending on like what you like to talk about or like to hear about, you'll know that's about. So I always like brand each thing that I do, and then I have 2 Patreons that I work hard on, and I just enjoy it.
I love it. And we always talk about that on the show, dude. Don't never just be satisfied with one thing. Like if you're killing it at one thing, great. Be happy that you're killing it in that, but don't just settle there. Just continue to try and grow and try new things because you never know which one. You never know which one of those you're just going to end up being like, oh fuck, this one's killing it. And
right?
I fucking think
you never know. Like side bands are probably like that. I'm sure there was someone who was in their main band, and then they started a side band. That side band just blew up. You're like, oh, I don't know what to do, man.
It happens, man. And it's going to happen with my band. I'm out.
Duddy's going on an acoustic tour coming up.
I'm doing a solo acoustic tour. No, I'll never. The Dirty Heads will never leave.
They're like a gang almost.
We're like
friends since they were kids. So
I totally.
But we all do our side things. Like for
they all have
instance, Jared, who's like my partner in the Dirty Heads. He's still doing his own side hip hop thing, Sword Beach, and everyone in the band supports the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
This podcast, everyone in the band supports the fuck out of it. Jared's coming, he's been on the show. Yep. I'm doing my own solo tour coming up. They post about it on their personal pages. Everyone, you got to support each other.
There's enough for everybody,
dude. And everything you do is just going to help. For instance, if you're working in a company or whatever you're doing, a team, a band, a fucking whatever, if someone else on that team ventures off to do something, that's only going to help you too.
I think so, dude.
If they blow up in that fucking niche or whatever they're doing separately, it's only going to bring new eyes to what you're doing as well. So support them.
I think it's almost like being in a relationship, right? Like the best relationships is when your significant other has like a hobby or something.
Totally.
Like I've learned this in life, man. Like when you're starting to date, if you're listening, you want to start dating somebody, here's a couple things. Do they get along with their parents? Do they have a hobby? And what's their credit like? The hobby is like really important, man, because like when people don't have a hobby, you become their world and it almost becomes
Make sure you're not their hobby.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Have something. Dude, learn karate, paint pretty trees, do something, man, but have something that takes you out of your mind for a little bit.
Totally.
That's my whole thing. And dude, it only helps. You that blows up, then your band blows up. Like my podcast, Tinfoil Hat blew up. Now people go and listen to Punch Drunk.
100%. 100%. It's a
It is
beautiful cycle.
It's just personalities now. If people dig your personality, they're probably going to dig each one of your podcasts. You just point them in slightly different hallways, but it's all your viewpoint.
I think it's also changed art in that, like stand-up wise, right? Back when I started like comedy, which was early 90s, right? It was a much different vibe because like there was only one headlining spot or one opening spot, one hosting spot on TV, one spot on The Tonight Show. So everybody had more of a boxing attitude of like there could be one champion. So I got to do this. I remember a big name comic who just got along knowing, he goes, dude, this ain't team sport, it's boxing. That's not the same thing anymore. Now, because everybody can have a podcast and everybody can have a successful podcast, now everybody works together. And it's not competitive. It's actually groups rise.
Well, yeah. And it's just like, instead of, back when you say it was so cutthroat and you saw someone working hard, it was more kind of like, oh, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, he's working hard. Maybe I can team up with him and we can work together. Like, I want to be on his page,
You know what's so interesting about, have you ever heard of a guy named Tom Segura?
Oh, fuck yeah.
I got Tom Segura in stand-up. I tell the story all the time. I'm waiting for him to call me, go, please stop telling this story. I got him in the stand-up, and it's basically what you were talking about. Like comics were gunslingers, right? And like there was a time in LA, man, when I first moved there was a show ran by a guy named Jay Davis and Ahmed Ahmed called Dublin's. That was at the old Dublin's bar on Sunset, and it was this amazing show. It was like, I consider it one of the greatest shows ever. And I remember every week I'd show up, there'd be a new comic on stage, and I'm like, fuck, another gunslinger, dude.
Damn.
There're just so many gunslingers, dude. Well, I was going to I went to Groundlings, and there was Tom Segura. I didn't know who he was, but man, this guy was so fast. And there's always this moment where you're like,
damn,
okay, this dude, like, okay, dude, that's a fast gunslinger. Dude. Is he a faster gunslinger? I don't know, but we could either be like, we could make this something, or we could be friends. And I always like when people scare me, I like that. Dude.
Totally.
I'm like, oh, dude, this guy's
it pushes you.
Yeah, right. So I'm like, hey, dude, you're really funny. So someone did this to me. So I decided to do the Tom, which was like, you ever try stand up? I'm like, he's like, no. I'm like, you would be really good at. And I took him around for like 2 weeks and showed him how to get going. And bam, he's the smartest man in comedy. He's the smartest business.
So right away with him.
He's hilarious.
Oh, dude, he was great. I didn't see him a lot after that because he went to work.
He just went hard.
Okay, yeah.
He just went to work on it. And like him and Christine are like, that show works because they're both black belts,
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's like they're just smart enough to do like, let's do a show together. And it boom, blew up.
And now they're kind of like what we touched on earlier and they're doing shows with other people now. Segura's got another show
with Bert Kreischer.
So it's like everybody's working together.
You gotta help each other out.
I've heard it, especially like when listening to Bobby Lee's show and stuff like that. Like I've heard him say in the past, especially with Asian comics, like what you were saying earlier, how there was really only room for one headliner, especially with like if you're an Asian comic, like, we've already got a funny Asian guy. Try back in 10 years. Yeah. And he's like, oh, we're fucked. But now there's like, there's so much comedy. Everyone has a voice because of podcasts or YouTube or Instagram.
Up to you now. You can
get out there.
Work as hard as you want.
Yeah.
You can put out whatever you want. It goes for fucking even a band. It's like, dude, you can do whatever you want. Put out the music. Put out as much music as you want. Tour as much as you want. Get the fuck out there. It's up to you.
It's really up
to you.
Just find your crowd, you know?
Yeah, niche.
It's almost like Twitter almost is like working the opposite. It's like I always said, there was like every city had a town idiot, right? But now, thanks to social media, these town idiots can meet up and be like, respect my fucking pronouns. You're like, oh, great. But on the opposite end of that, you can have a style and you can reach a crowd. And that's kind of what Tinfoil Hat is, man. There's like a lot of people who are really into just studying this stuff and they love it. And, there's so many people in my genre. And like, I'm going to be honest with you, maybe they'll get mad at me for saying this, but before I started the show, they didn't all get along. But I kind of like started like bringing guys on the show, be like, dude, let's get each other's crowds together to do what we call some Doug Stanhope invented, which was called Swapcast. Swapcasts were basically where he did it because he said he was too lazy to do 2 podcasts. Let's just do one, and we both put it out, and then your listeners get to hear you and their listeners. So if there was someone who had like a show that you guys like, you guys put out the same episode together, and
I love it.
Never even fucking thought of that.
It's like a collaboration.
Dude, it's the best way to grow your numbers.
I love it.
Yeah,
anything I could ever tell you about podcasting, don't be afraid to ask, because it was freely given to me, so I like to give it out. But Swapcast with Doug Stanhope, Swapcast with Duncan Trussell,
I love it.
Changed my show.
I love it.
I would have asked you for one of those if we would have fucking known about it. Damn it!
So,
next time.
I want to throw this one out there. So speaking of your podcast, the Tinfoil Hat, and this is hilarious because we love that shit. We fucking love it. It intrigues the shit out of us. But as my brother could be a little skeptical on some things, or skeptical. Sorry. Play this, Taylor.
Oh yeah, they thought this
is my brother's clip that he. My brother has a show called The Morning Ride that he does on Facebook, and this is from
my ride to work every morning.
And this shit just fucking cracks me up. Play that thing.
I saw a huge, large creature in the woods with dark fur on its hind legs. I think you perfectly described a bear. Like, you nailed it. You found a bear. Oh, no. It made a grunting noise. Oh! Like a bear? And we found claw marks. Wait a second! More bear evidence! Well, the scratch marks were 8 feet tall on a pine tree, and yeah! You ever seen a bear scratch its back or work out its claws? It stands on its hind legs, leans against a tree, scratchy scratch, breaking branches. How do they get their claws filed down? They scratch shit. Bear.
I work in a barber shop, dude, and we had the Bigfoot hunters on all day, and so I was like,
dude.
And I know you agree, I'm sure.
We're going to Oklahoma, dude. The Bigfoot Wars of 1855, dude.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, dude. These Bigfoots were stealing children.
Oh, no, here it comes.
And they had to go to war with them, and Native Americans and U.S. military worked together and took these guys out. Listen, listen, man. I think the world of conspiracies make the world so much more interesting.
So much more fun. I make fun of it, but I fucking love it.
I wish that
I want it all to be real.
I hope there's
all
1,000 Bigfoot.
I
wish that I could have a Bigfoot farm and I had my own Bigfoots that I could
like them
raise.
elusive.
Yeah,
but you know what I mean?
want
I would love it. I would love nothing more
her.
than have a farm with Bigfoot running free and a lake with Nessie in it, and I fed them treats. I would do that.
Oh, yeah, please be
but
real.
Here's the thing, man. There's a chance of Bigfoot. I mean, like, dude, you start looking at Bigfoot, then it starts opening up other questions like multiple dimensions and stuff that. What they represent. Are they multiple dimension time traveler? And like, it just goes deeper and deeper and deeper. You know, I think people don't want to think that they're being lied to. So there's a bunch of stuff. Either your career's going really well and you don't want to think, am I a part of this system? You have kids. Did I bring people into this crazy world? Do I have to now start paying attention? Because it's easier to turn on the news and digest that dog shit. And that's kind of how, like, slacker activism, right? I watch the news.
I made a tweet.
Yeah, I'm being interactive. The world is way more interesting than anybody even understands, dude. You start studying Anunnaki, dude, and then you start getting the Sumerians, and then you start talking like lizard people. It's so much more interesting than anybody even understands. And it's like, did Rome fall? No, probably not. They reorganized themselves. Why conquer all these countries that have that military there when I can just build churches called Catholic churches and put them in all over the place? And then you start taking a look at the Nazis, where the Nazis run to. Nazis ran to the Vatican and got shipped out to Argentina. Okay, that's interesting. Then who created the CIA? Well, there was OSS that fell, and then the Nazis came here and created the CIA. Then you start taking a look at all the international crime organizations in North America, South America, and Europe. And have you noticed they all have giant Catholic, like everything? They all got crosses tattooed on themselves. There's every Sopranos are going to a Catholic church. Like, then you realize, oh man, are these Jesuits playing both sides? It's like so much more interesting than anyone even knows. And I don't know why you want to listen to Rachel Maddow still talk about Russian collusion when we're like 3 psyops past that, man. And so it's like, to me, it's so much more interesting. And when people come on the show, I don't check them unless they say really retarded shit.
Yeah.
I don't check them because like conspiracy theorists are like street dogs. They've been through a lot, man, and they're very so you just let
so many
them.
people laughing and fuck you.
And you'd be amazed at how many people get really upset. Like flat Earth, right? Let's say flat Earth, not my thing. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not my thing, but I hope it's real because I just vote for chaos every time.
Yeah,
but
more fun.
Look it. Do I think it's real? Fuck no, not at all. Would it be cool? Of course. It would be cool. But it's not.
All I have to say is this. When the man who invented NASA was a Nazi, okay? On his tombstone, he had Psalms. I think it was 19:1, and that basically is the part of the Bible that mentions the filament. I believe that's how you pronounce it, the filament. The filament is a dome. The dome, right? What is, everybody knows the Van Allen belt, right? And the question whether we can get through the Van Allen belt or not. Nobody knows. I mean, you have NASA saying, oh, yeah, we got through. And then you have videos where they're like, we haven't gotten through the Van Allen belt. That might be the dome. You don't know. I just vote for chaos every time.
We all do. You know what? I feel like, because honestly, at the end of the fucking day, we're all fucking just big kids. And we all just want to use our imaginations. And when you fucking use your imagination and you think of all these amazing things that could be, Jake.
Oh, here it fucking comes.
Fucking feels good. Woo!
He always segues perfectly into some sponsors.
Speaking of feeling good on this show, we have some sponsors. And as always, Koi CBD, what an amazing sponsor. They have been with us since day one. We love this company and we love this product. I use it every day. I've used it today. Every morning, I take fucking like 3 full droppers of like 2,000 milligrams. I don't give a fuck. I love it. It makes me feel so good. And when I don't have it now, I'm kind of like bummed out. And maybe I'm addicted. I don't know. But I love this shit. But,
when he's himself. Complete asshole.
Yeah, total asshole. I suck.
CBD'd up.
CBD, great guy.
Tolerable
no
person.
CBD, suck. But honestly, it makes me feel better. Like, I feel like it takes a little stress off. And I don't mean like feel it like, oh, I feel great. Like, oh, it's great. You don't feel it. But you do notice after you take it, like 30, 40 minutes after I take it, I'll just realize, oh man, I feel great. I feel great. Yeah. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. Like, I have tendonitis in my wrist. I have tendonitis in my elbow. And especially when I'm in cold weather and we're on the road touring and I'm playing guitar all the time and it's cold, man, my wrist and my elbow will start to ache, especially my wrist. And I've started like this last year or two, I've just been on a consistent diet of CBD like every day. And we just got done doing a tour through the polar vortex, which was the polar vortex.
They went on tour in the polar vortex.
Done that, dude.
Yes.
I'm like, what am I doing?
What are we doing? So the whole tour was right in the middle of it. And I didn't even realize it during the tour. I realized it when I got back and we were doing I was like, oh my God, I never even thought about my wrist. And I thought that had to be from all the fucking CBD I'm taking, people.
There's no other explanation.
The polar vortex.
Yeah, you were in a polar vortex.
In the polar vortex, people.
Normally your hands hurt. In a polar vortex, if they didn't, well, that's CBD.
It's polar vortex.
And more importantly, it's koi.
Yeah, so Koi CBD, we love this product. And if you go to koicbd.com and you put in code DuddyB at checkout, you're going to get 20% off your order. It's good stuff.
That's right. And I'm going to plug my koi CBD slogan that I'd like to give to them. Koi CBD. You don't feel it, but you don't not feel it.
Ooh.
I like it.
I like that. I like that a lot.
That's outstanding.
Right.
Oh, thank you,
That was
everyone.
a great sponsor read. I have
Thanks,
to give
man.
you. I
Impassionate.
yeah, it was good.
It's well, you
you
know
like
what?
that one.
It's easy. Yeah, if you thought that was good, my next sponsor, ONIT. What another great company, and that's ONIT with 2 N's, ONNIT.com. Dude, this company is amazing. They have so many great products, whatever you're looking for. Even if you're not someone who's like just constantly trying to work out and whatnot, they've got something for you. Like, for instance, the new mood pills that me and my brother have been loving.
Mood.
It's just at night. I take it around 5 or 6 in the afternoon. It doesn't like knock you out. Like, you're not gonna. It's not a sleeping pill. It just kind of relaxes you at the end of the day, and just kind of puts you like in a chill vibe, and when you do fall asleep, you're sleeping through the night.
He's on a cocktail of CBD and new mood.
I am
This
pretty
guy,
much.
the
Otherwise,
steady-
I kill people.
Yeah.
No, but they do, and they've got so many great products. Like whatever your the Alpha Brain. We have some over here. The Alpha Brain pills. I take them every day.
Yeah. Alpha Brain's the one that most of our fans hit us up about. Like, it's just, you take it every day, treat it as a dietary supplement. Don't be like, hey, I need to study tonight. Alpha Brain. No, you just take it consistently, and then you realize you're kind of remembering names.
Dude, I was just going to
it's just
say
shit
that.
like that, dude.
This shit
Dumb
happened to
little
me the other
shit.
day. I fucking blew my own mind the
And
other day.
it could be all fake.
No, it's not fake, and I'll
No,
tell
I'm
you
playing.
why. And I think most people will fucking hear the story
Skeptic.
and be like, "Damn, impressive." I took my son to a new soccer camp, first day, right? And I get there, and there's like, there's kids are running around. There's this dad there. We start talking, and we introduce, each other. And first time I ever met him, talked to him for fucking 10 minutes. And then the very next week, I take my son to his first day at his new jujitsu class. The fucking dad's there. Same dad. He walks up. I go, "Hey, Robert." Remembered his name. I remembered his fucking name.
I know. You didn't.
He didn't remember mine. He goes, "Sorry, what was your name again?" I was like, "Dustin." I walked away and I gave myself a high fucking 5, dude.
You know what
That's
you should
Alpha
have
Brain.
done?
That's Alpha Brain.
You should have offered him a few little tabs of Alpha.
But
Actually,
yeah.
there you go,
I was
Robert,
fucking.
next time.
I can't remember the last time I just fully
Yeah, it
remembered
is little
someone's
shit like
name.
that.
Like,
It's funny.
I was so happy with myself. But yeah, ONIT.com, ONNIT, and if you do a /Duddy at that, 10% off.
And I mean, it's everything, you guys. Protein powder. They got bar. Like Duddy was hungover today. He walked in with an elk bar. It's this big meat stick. You can also get that at ONIT. They're
They're fucking
everything.
great. Well, so my wife works out like all the time. She loves it, and she's like on this super high protein diet.
Humble brag.
But so she's fucking loves these oak bars. I get them from ONIT, and they're like, it's like 25 grams of protein in each bar or whatever. So I was out the door. I didn't have a chance to eat breakfast. I grabbed one of those oak bars. It was fucking great.
They're fucking yummy. We
So,
ate them
yeah.
on tour.
ONIT.com /Duddy, 10% off. Boom, we did it.
Whap. Well, let's give a quick little nod to, of course, Kerf Surfboards. That gave us the cool custom Feeling Good with Duddy surfboard. And then we got a new cool thing today that was shipped to us from Customized grinders on Instagram, and it's for the people that are watching on YouTube. Yeah, we got killer little, ganja fucking grinders, dude.
Oh, I
with
thought
the
it was for
Feeling
grinding
Good with Duddy.
coffee beans.
No,
Okay.
no, that's the barista pack, which is all. Here, that would be a shitty deal if you were just individually. Yeah, it's for grinding up Keurig pods, everybody, But Customized grinders, thank you very much. And they even put my little face on one, which I appreciate. Look at that. Got my own little stupid little face. All right.
Snaps, dude. CBD is everywhere.
It is.
CBD is everywhere.
You use CBD as well?
Yeah, actually, I do, man. I got my own sponsor. And
Nice.
I started taking Krav Maga, right?
Nice.
And I'm an old man, and my legs were just like, And I just put some on. Dude, my legs were just feeling like electricity,
Oh, yeah.
dude. I loved it.
It's
dude.
great. It's
Dude,
great.
I do a joke about it, but man, I mean, like everything CBD, dude. I just moved to the Valley in LA, and man, I love it. it's like like everyone shits on the valley. It's so great. There's no traffic.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of everybody in the valley shits on the valley, so nobody moves to the valley.
Smart, very
But I
smart.
was driving by and there was like an adult bookstore. By the way, no books in the adult bookstore, just to let you know if you're looking for something to read. And on the thing was hand to God, like CBD anal bleaching. I'm not lying to you. There was like some anal stuff bleaching. I was like, dude, they figured it all out.
You don't need CBD on your butthole.
No.
But that was really that. I'm like, oh my God, they've done it all.
When they said CBD is going to blow up, they had no fucking idea. It's infiltrated even the sex industry.
Infiltrate is a good word
Yeah,
when we're talking about buttholes.
Oh, absolutely. They're almost always infiltrated. It's never like just a welcome on it. You must infiltrate.
Yes.
If there's just an open fucking butthole, then I say walk away.
If you have an open butthole, it's been infiltrated too many times.
Yeah, dude. Far too many insurgents. Is that right? I don't even know if that's the word.
Also, yes.
I don't know if that's right.
I'm moving along. Speaking of words.
Yeah, speaking of words, dude, and this is going to be a gangbang of words.
Oh, it just keeps
dissing
getting
right
better.
now.
I ruin every part.
Dude, or make it better. This is your guys' favorite segment, and we got a few words that are getting kicked to the curb. So here we go.
That's pretty low. No more fucking words.
The motherfucking words. Oh yeah, dude.
That drop was
just
low.
just for the yeah. So Ashton, our drops got all shitty again. You'll have to pump that one up in post.
Pump up the jam.
Dude, pump
All
it
good.
up. Wow,
So,
your drops are
no more
shitty.
words. You heard it.
No more words.
Fucking words. So this is a segment we have where it's just words that we feel like we can do without.
Yeah.
I think this season we've already gotten rid of lit.
We've gotten rid of lit. See you later, lit.
We got rid of fam.
Lates.
We got rid of bay.
We got rid of Bay on
What
the.
else?
That was suggested by one of our guests, Ashley Evans Smith.
There was a
She
few
wanted
more.
Bay to be out, get out of here, and then there was one more that we got rid of. Yeah, I
It was
can't
a
fucking
good one
think
too.
of it right now. It was
well,
a great
whatever.
one.
You guys get it.
You get it, dude. You get the point. You were
so
here.
This one's a little different. This
We
one
got
is
like 3 today.
This one is not a word that needs to be completely erased. It just needs to literally be used less, because literally, I can't take it when literally everyone says literally every other fucking word. Literally, okay? Last night, bro, I literally was at this bar and this fucking chick's literally like the hottest chick I ever seen. She literally was fucking hitting on me. We literally got drunk, and you're literally a fucking idiot.
More importantly, just use it. Just use it correctly,
Yeah.
I suppose.
Just
It's
use it correctly.
That's the worst.
It's just over
Yeah.
fucking used. I
That's
literally
the
can't take it.
worst.
Dustin is literally furious about this literalness.
So yeah, that's mine
Couldn't
today.
agree more.
Thank you.
Just
It's
stop
the miss-
abusing it.
So I guess this is a little bit of a different no more words. We're not saying get rid of the word literally. We're just saying use it only when it's necessary.
Literally stop using it so much.
Stop using
Yes.
it so much. It takes away the fucking meaning.
Yeah. And use it correctly.
Use
And
it
I've
correctly.
got a word that is pronounced 2 different ways, but it seems like one of the ways is just a more recent thing. So I would like to actually say goodbye to one pronunciation of this word. The word is, as I've always understood, divisive. But all of a sudden, 5 years ago or so, I started noticing everyone on who's in, like, if you're watching the news, it's divisive now. And if you have not heard this,
I
Sam?
never heard
Oh,
that.
fuck,
I
damn
don't
it.
watch the
He
news,
told me
but-
that today too. And I was
See,
like,
that's
I
the
never
thing,
heard
dude.
this.
And it's like if I'm watching someone who thinks they're really smart on TV, it's always divisive. And I guess look how divisive it is. Most people don't even fucking know the problem that I'm seeing. But I would like to say there's nothing more divisive than the pronunciation of that word. And I'd like to go ahead and get rid of the divisive. So for the few people listening that agree with me,
Yeah.
slap the next, physical violence, no. Simply alert the next person who says divisive that they're saying it wrong, and we can all move on in the divisive
Yes.
train and down the track.
We can
to
all agree
happiness.
that that's a huge deal.
Oh, for fuck's sake. But I know Sam had a word that, or you had something.
That reminds me of the In Living Color sketch where the guy is like his own lawyer in prison and he's using every word wrong.
Dude,
pronouncing it
he goes
wrong.
to prison all of a sudden. Yeah. Oh, I can't even do it. I think it was Tommy Davidson.
No,
or
it was
which guy
Damon
was it?
Wayans.
Damon,
like my Luciferification
Yes.
of their proclamation.
he turns like Muslim and he starts pronouncing fucking in living color, which I heard is
coming back.
Good.
Is this?
If they can get Jim Carrey, it'll be great.
I swear I
Dude.
saw Jim Carrey's face on a thing that said maybe they're gonna have like one
Dude.
reunion show.
There's 1,000 Waynes doing stand-up, and there's 1,000 Rocks doing. Now, if we can get the Rocks and the Waynes to hook up, that will be like Gozer the Destroyer. It would be like
my
the greatest
God.
one
That-
ever.
dude.
What was the?
I think
what was
Gozer
the-
might be back in that new Ghostbusters too.
I
I was watching
hope,
the trailer.
dude.
I saw the Hell Dog, and I'm like, I see what's going on.
I
here.
hope,
we're
man.
bringing back.
They got a little lost. My friend was in the all-female Ghostbusters. Good for them, but
Great for
let's
them.
get back to
Let's do it.
the basics here.
I agree wholeheartly, and I look forward to the new one.
And-
wait, there was something that you wanted to get rid of. Do you
I want
remember?
to get rid of the word woke. Okay,
Oh,
I'm tired of the word woke. It's almost blasphemy for people in the conspiracy world, the truth community. I believe it's just a giant psyop by some think tank to make anybody who questions the official narrative. And it's just like people are woke are just like white girls who have a gay friend and a black boyfriend. That seems to be the woke people, right?
If you're saying woke, you are not fucking
Not woke.
If you are saying woke, you're someone who fucking stares at your phone all day at social media.
Yeah,
that's
like
what you are.
Everybody on a commercial is woke, right? They're like, it's all the same people. It's annoying as shit. And it's just used to demonize people who question everything. And it's my opinion, and here's why I'm going to lose everybody, but it's my opinion, I think the most punk rock shit right now is black conservatism. If you follow them on Instagram and YouTube, just like black people that just don't go down the same narrative as you've seen in a lot of culture. And they call them, and here's where I might I'm losing, Uncle Toms. And I think that's done on purpose. So to kind of make people scared to question what everybody else is doing. Dude, I watched them, and there's this one guy who wears a mega hat and he goes into the urban areas and he just gets in debates with everyone, and they get so demonized. And I think it's the most punk rock shit I've ever seen, to just kind of go your own way, not to follow the herd, to do your own shit. I love them, dude. To each their own. I love everybody.
Absolutely, yeah. I think just saying woke suggests that anyone that doesn't agree with you is an idiot. And so that's why the word is.
Stop with that woke
become,
stuff. It's annoying.
Yeah, it's become divisive. It's
I think we can say
it's
that.
become divisive. And
I literally think that the word woke is divisive to this world.
I have
you
a
just
shirt with it,
fucking-
woke boys, and I wish I'd.
I woke up like this. Okay.
we're all woke, everybody. We're all here. We all
woke
love
as
each other.
Shit.
Yeah. I
But
hope you woke off a fucking
Hey,
bridge.
guess what that was? That was. Yeah, it's back.
It's back.
Somehow it's clean again.
No more fucking
words. We sing over the top of it so we don't get fucking sued or
Dude,
something.
I don't even want. Dude,
They'll, take your
YouTube's
video
been
down.
coming after me, dude, and they came after me on a 5-year-old video. They're like, it was 4 years. It was the show I have 4 shows on this one feed because I'd always come up with another one, and then the second show on there was a rant show I did, and I just got a ding for I had a DJ Shadow song kind of open it for 30 seconds. And they're like, nope, you use that. We took the video down. And so
the fuck?
I had to go down and pull every one of those videos because I used that as the opening, and I had to rip them off. So I still had the videos, but because I think that's how they're going to try to ding me on my videos.
Yep.
That's why we sing over it.
Yeah, I heard if you're making enough noise over the top of it, it doesn't
And then they
register.
can't
codes,
fucking
dude.
do anything about it.
Cheat
Boom,
codes.
YouTube.
That's why we go, no more fucking words. Oh, look at that. No more fucking words.
You got your face down.
No.
Yeah.
There we go, dude.
All right, we've done it. We have
All right,
beat
we
the
did that.
system.
This is the one where this might just be its own show. We know you've got Scary Zone. This is everyone. Wait till you hear this drop.
This drop is fucking dope.
And Duddy, tell them a little bit of what Scary Zone
Scary
is.
Zone
real
is a
quick.
new segment because, like we talked about earlier, dude, everyone's got their friend or whatever. Everyone's been in the situation where you've been hanging out with some people and someone just starts telling you a story about when they saw a ghost or they saw an alien. And even if you don't believe what they're saying, you're fucking intrigued.
It's always
And you're
fun.
listening and you're
Always
like,
fun.
oh yeah, I want to hear what they're fucking going with this. So we just made a segment because I want to hear everybody's scary stories.
So we got.
Have you ever been scared? Welcome
to the scary zone.
That's
The
our
best.
That's it.
as performed by Duddy. Yes. All right. So let me give you. Yeah. No. So what are you going to share? Have you ever seen a ghost, an alien?
What do you
thing?
guys think ghosts are?
Here, let's give you this.
Ooh. Well,
Tell us.
I would like to think that ghosts are lost souls that haven't made their way to where they're trying to go yet because they have unfinished business.
Yes.
Well, you know,
I don't know.
Interesting. Like, how many
Energy?
ghosts are associated with like violent deaths? And like, there's this whole thing like, yeah, and conspiracies, dude. Like your energy, you get sucked in. You like, and they're always saying like, "Oh, don't go into the light." Well, the light is rebirth. Okay, if you study the Tibetan Book of the Dead, that's this whole life cycle. Weird thing. Pac-Man, right? You ever hear the theory of the moon? That's not a natural planet. That's actually like an alien satellite or an energy absorber, right?
Okay.
So if you look at the game Pac-Man, right? When Pac-Man closed his mouth, what does it look like? The moon. And what does Pac-Man do? Chase you down, eat you, and then you get reborn. Anyways, so the violent deaths, right? Violent death is maybe the transfer of your soul energy into the universe, and it gets knocked off, and now you're out here. Or I have a theory that ghosts could be the archons who run the simulation, and you just happen to hear them, and that's why they're like, "Go away, leave," because they don't want you. That's a weird one.
Like you're almost about to see something that breaks everything
You're not
down. So
supposed
they're like,
to hear
"Hey,
it.
beat
You're not
it."
supposed to see that shit.
Yeah, very interesting. But I've seen
Those are fun.
I've seen 4 ghosts, I'd say, in my life.
Get the fuck. Tinfoil hat, everybody. If you like what you're hearing right now, you know where to go to get more of this. Now, keep telling us. Let's hear some ghost stories.
The first ghost thing, so at the Comedy Store, the history of the Comedy Store is very weird. There's a lot of dark arts involved with it early. Syros, it was a mob bar, a mob club, and they would kill people there. There was offs. There's also a theory that
Used to be the Comedy Store. Now is the Comedy Store.
I was
now
there
the
last
Comedy
night.
Store.
That's awesome. Keep telling. This is great.
And then there's a more shady part of what the belly room represented, which was a woman's clinic to do illegal, you know what I'm talking about. So that's the whole theory that way back in the day was very dark arts. And so in the back where the showgirls used to get ready is a full-on changing room. It's got showers, got sinks, got a place to put on your makeup. And I was sitting down there and writing down my act, and all of a sudden I'm all by myself. The faucet turns and the water starts running in the shower. And I'm like, "Oh, fuck that!" And I grabbed my shit and I ran right the fuck out.
Teddy, you were there last night.
I was there last night.
Did you see anything?
I wish. I did see a hilarious show from Kill Tony, but I did not see a ghost. I wish I
Wow,
would.
that's cool.
Second one.
Second
Time is so this was back when the Comedy Store was dead. There was a period when it was dead, and one of the thing is that I was promoting a show I called The Naughty Show. I used to do. I do occasionally still, and it's like an adult variety show. And this was before the internet was what it was, and we would have to advertise. So I would just put posters all over the Comedy Store trying to get people to come see the show. And I went to the main room, and I wanted to put a poster up, but I realized that I needed tacks, and I only had tape. Tape wouldn't sit, so I had to go get tacks. So I walked down to the pink. So I leave. Jeffrey Ross and all the roasters are writing his new roast for one of the roasters. And this is when the Comedy Store was dead and the main room was just completely empty. It was just them. So I go and I'm like, okay, I'll be back. They're like, later. So I walk down the pink dot, which is a block or two down. I grab the tacks. I walk back and I walk in. They're still writing. And I walk in. But now the lobby is completely black. Like, it's dark. There's no lights on except for this one line of light that's like that white, like whiter than that. And I go, dude, who turned off the light in the lobby? And Jeffrey's like, they're like, I don't know. They're like, did anybody walk by you since I got in? They go, no, we didn't see anybody. Lights are off. The whitest light, just a strip of white light. And I can't find where the light source is. Because all the lights are off, and the only light is when you went through the main room last, you saw they had glass doors.
Yeah.
That's it, from the street light. So the light would have to go bing, 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 bing.
Where's the
bing,
fucking
bing,
light coming from?
Where's the light coming? I don't know where the light is coming from. And I'm staring at the light, and hand to God, a dark black image just passed right in front of it. And I'm like, oh, hell no. And I ran off, dude.
So twice in the Comedy Store.
Third time at the Comedy Store. I'm doing an
fuck's
interview
sake. Here we go.
with Abby Martin.
You were there last night, Dad?
I was there last night.
Downstairs, they have a podcast room, and I'm interviewing her, and people pointed out you can see an orb just floating in the
Like
back.
as you're doing the interview?
Yeah, and I actually saw somebody show me a video where they saw orbs in the belly room, too. Yeah, so I've seen it.
That's 3. You said you had 4? Is there a 4th? Okay.
There was another one when I was doing a podcast in Edmonton at a comedy. It was very interesting because I was doing like a Patreon podcast, and I was using my phone on a little camera stand, and I was interviewing this guy, and I had it so I could see what was being filmed. And I'm talking to him, I'm looking in the video, and all of a sudden I see this orb just pass right in front of the video and just fucking go. I'm like, what the fuck was that? And it was crazy, dude. So those are,
wow,
That's
dude.
good.
Let's
good.
Let's just cap it with this.
Have you ever been scared?
4 in a row.
Dude.
Welcome
Can
to
I
the
tell one?
scary zone.
Of course you can. Let me set you up.
I'll just go. Okay, so you've probably heard this. I told you. Michael Broberg's house.
Okay, Mike Broberg, for
Michael
the
Broberg's
listeners, an old
good
friend of ours
ours.
since we were just
Grew up.
kids. He was in the band with us. He's played
Yeah.
with music with both of us.
But
growing
we've
up.
known this kid forever.
Forever.
So, and we would always go over to his house. And I remember we were hanging out there one day, and I think it was probably after school or something. And his parents weren't home, and it was just us hanging out in his living room. And we were chilling for a bit. And then I remember I saw what I thought was he had a little sister, and she was in the hallway. And then Mike came back in the room, and I was like, hey, I didn't know your sister was home. She's been here the whole time. And he's like, my sister's not home. And I'm like, dude, she was just in the hallway. And we went and we walked all through the house. Look, fucking nobody there. And there was a fucking little girl in that hallway. And
I like
to
that.
this day, I always be like, no, there was a fucking little girl there. Not there.
dude, I've had glitches in the Matrix, dog. Like I was driving this chick home one night, and we were going down Wilshire. We were going down Western past Wilshire, and I drive and I see what I believe is a Wiltern, completely black. I go, wow, that's so weird. The Wiltern is just black. It's just all the lights are off. I'm like, it's weird.
Weird.
And then I drive like another 3 blocks. There's the Wiltern right there with all the lights on. I'm like,
What
the
the
fuck?
That's
man?
weird.
I go, did you just see that? She goes, what? I go, we just passed the Wiltern there, and then there it is right there. She's like, what are you talking? I go, dude, I saw the Wiltern, and it was pitch black.
There's shit going on, people.
Glitch in the
There's
Matrix.
shit. Give it to him one more time, Jake.
Let's give it to him. They deserve it.
Have you ever been scared? Welcome to the scary zone.
You were at the Comedy Store last night.
I was there last night.
Damn, that was a
That's fun.
great
That's good.
fucking segment. Welcome to the scary zone. And to keep things scary, right, Dad?
Well, you know what happens to some people sometimes when they get really scared?
I heard what?
They shit their pants.
Get out of here. And I heard that we are about to...
All aboard! Next up, Coopersville!
Our drops are so good.
Oh, we're so proud of our drops here on season 2. We are about to go to Poopersville because, we asked Sam before the show, have you ever shit your pants? He goes, oh, yes. Of
Yeah.
course. He didn't think for a half a second about it. Yes.
I sharted. I can shart a lot, dude. Listen, I live in LA. You're not, because everybody does heroin in the bathrooms, you're not allowed to use any public bathrooms anymore. So I have a studio, and half the rent I'm just paying just so I have a place to take a shit when I'm in Hollywood, because no one will let you use their bathrooms. And I always think, man, I'm so glad that my butthole is just an exit, not an entrance, because I've been stuck in traffic and I got a mud cat looking for daylight. And I'm like, this thing's about to blow. And I'm just thinking, if you wreck your ass
Oh.
Good, dude, it's like,
Oh.
dude, that freight train's coming. I've done it all. I mean, I remember playing basketball one time, and dude, I'm like, and it just sneak attack.
Oh.
Usually, I'm like, okay, I think I might have to
In
use the
basketball
bathroom.
shorts?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
And I
just
had to
so
just
thin,
run.
the holes in them.
Oh
little
yeah,
dots.
dude, the worst. And you're just like, you're so helpless.
Did they call
Like,
it? Did they
it's
call
just
it?
going?
Did they call it double dribble on you?
I just fouled everybody and walked off.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but dude, as you get older, you just start, shorting yourself constantly.
Ever shart yourself on stage and just had to finish?
No,
out
and I
fucking, how
can't
would that
believe
be?
that's hasn't happened.
Oh my
God,
god, that's
I never thought about
fucking
that.
terrifying.
Imagine having like an hour-long special and you just hit a shart 3 minutes in, and now you've
Dude.
got to be funny for another
dude.
basically hour.
I've talked about it before on this show, like where like one time Jared, who's the front man for the Dirty Heads, and if you've ever seen us live, he's all over the place. He's very active on stage, and one time he had fucking food poisoning, and the whole set
just holding his
did
butt.
not fucking move, just clenched, and it was. I felt so fucking bad for him, but at the same time, like half the set I'm playing guitar, maybe more than half the set, but like a quarter of the set I don't play guitar, and I'm walking around doing the front man thing as well. And man, our bass player is vegan.
Oh,
And if you got a vegan friend,
Pete's
you know that they
sakes.
fucking farts smell worse than anything you've ever smelt in your life.
Really?
Yeah.
So much vegetables.
Oh, dude,
and
he'll
stuff.
clear
You
the
just- I mean,
fucking
it's good
room.
for
And
you,
dude,
but
this
it's not
is
good for
this
your
is
friends.
this is what fucking sucks about Dave. And don't get me wrong, he's one of my favorite people in the world. I fucking love him. He has the worst smelling farts in the world. I've never heard one of his farts.
Oh, sneak attack.
And he doesn't leave the room. He just sits there. And then all of a sudden, and you know when it's him. We all know.
Oh, 'cause-
And you're just like, oh, fuck, Dave. And he goes, sorry. And just like, no, Dave, did you fart? Yeah.
I hate when
What?
people blame
What?
you for farts and
Oh.
it's not your fart.
You're like,
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why I own my farts.
Oh, dude.
I own them. I'll be
You're
like,
like, if
yeah,
it's-
I did it. I
Sorry.
did it. That's me.
Yeah.
Or like I fucking attempt to like, especially because we live on a fucking bus when we're touring, and it's like, dude, we all try to like attempt to like, go outside or do
Walk to
and
the
Dave
back.
will just fucking sit there. But where I was going with this story is, there's been many a time when I'm on stage not doing guitar and I'm walking around doing my thing, and I'll get over to the fucking other side of stage where Dave lives, and I'll just be like, "Oh, you dirty, dirty
You son
bastard!"
of a real bitch. Ugh.
I'm living on the other side of the stage.
That's
for the rest
why
of this
John
show.
always is on your side.
They wanted to switch John and Sean because
Sean's getting crop dusted
Sean's
by
getting
Dave.
cropped
Oh, that's
by Dave,
fuck. They got a
dude.
keyboard
Sean-
player that's up high.
behind Dave.
So it's up, dude. It's going right up
Well,
in.
and I'm
God
playing
damn
guitar,
it.
and then I have a microphone, and my mic's really loud because I'm singing a lot. And John's behind me playing
Yep.
percussion. So at one point they wanted to switch the keyboard so
That's
that
the
the percussion
best.
wasn't going into my mic.
Yep.
And John was like, no.
I'm lactose intolerant, which is a
Oh.
good sign you're dying. And I just refuse to give up cheese. I just can't do it.
my
I
God.
love
It's
it.
so good.
And then
It has to
sometimes
happen.
I have farts where I think I should go to the doctor. You
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
done that? Fart so
Yep.
bad you're like,
Oh
oh,
my
that's a
God.
sign of death.
Dude,
Yeah.
we had a lacto fucking sound guy for a bit, and he was one of my close. he was
are we
a great
talking
friend.
about?
We're talking about Matt.
We're talking
Sound.
about. We called him Trophy, and the
We
trough
called him
was
trough.
We called
because
this area just the
he
trough.
He smelled like what horses eat out of, so that's what we called him trough.
He's been
And
on the show.
He had many names, and so he was lacto, but he would not give up milk. And we tried everything. I got him and he called it milk, but I love milk.
Some milk.
And I just like milk. And I would get him almond milk.
Almond's the
I would
best.
and
I
he would
gotta
and he
do
was
it.
like, no, I like milk. So he would, first thing in the morning, he's just boom, milk. And he would fart all day. But he would have he was the guy that'd be like, I got to go to the bathroom right now. And
Oh,
it was a full sprint. And you're just like, what? And
Oh, yeah.
So, and we'd also call him fucking the rooster tail because
Dude.
this dude, I swear to God, he's the only person I know that could sit on a toilet, shit into the toilet, and not hit any water. Just the sides.
Dude.
Wham! You're like,
Okay.
how is that possible?
We've all kicked open a truck stop, bathroom
Yeah.
door, and you're like, how the
How?
fuck did someone shit up there?
Yeah.
That's him.
It's just
It just
weird.
out the
Wham!
back.
When
So
Go on, sorry.
Well, Duddy's right. So we'd wake up on the bus every morning, and he woke up earlier than everyone too. So he'd be in the living room eating a humongous gargantuan bucket of cereal with a huge orange juice.
Yes.
That's what always he
so
would just
weird.
mix the milk and the OJ, and then you'd hear the bus pull over, and you'd just hear the door flap open and like fucking Scooby-Doo skedaddle feet, and then you knew that there was one stall down at the Flying J, and it was going to be down for a week because Rooster Tail had entered the building.
He looked
dude.
like a fucking
Rooster
He looked
T.
like
Feathers.
a sea-doo squirting water. out
Yeah,
the back.
dude.
One of my favorite, David Tell. David Tell's my favorite comic.
Dude,
and,
he's so
best.
fucking funny.
He had his joke about how he took a shit and he looked in the bowl, it wasn't there, and it was on the side, and he's like, I Tony Hawked it, right? And I'm like, that's so funny. That would never happen. And then, like,
That would never happen.
and then I was like, dude, when I got sober, I decided to go check myself into a sober living. And every morning they would make us do a chore. That's kind of teaching you to kind of like take care of your shit, literally. And there you go. Sorry about that. I realized I got rid of that word. So
No, but
one
you
day
used
I'm
it correctly.
cleaning it.
That was correct.
It was correct.
Thank you.
Yes.
So I was cleaning the toilet and I lit the toilet seat up.
No.
And somebody somehow had gotten on the ring of the top.
They Tony Hawked it.
I told everybody, who Tony Hawked the bathroom?
So it's got to be like a pendulum turd, and then when it snaps off, it's in a rotation. And
I don't
whap,
think it's a
just-
turd though. I think it's more of a spray.
How the fuck do you Tony
It's a
Hawk
spray.
it? I don't understand it. I'll never know. It's got to
never
be a
know.
butthole shape scenario.
Unsolved mystery.
Dude,
Maybe
you want to
they-
talk about some fucking weird shit? That's
The
weirder than
only
Bigfoot
thing I
and
can think
Lockie.
about is this. Okay, I've just come up with a conclusion.
Nessie, whatever
They
they-
used way too much toilet paper the time before. Some of that toilet paper has
little-
dried like paper mache into their hole, and it has now. I don't know. I'm just
Well,
trying to
that-
think.
no, I like that's a Tony because it created
And then
a
it's a
ramp,
clam.
which lends
Yes.
even to the Tony Hawking it. And fucking Tony Hawked it. And I always, every time I hear Dave Attell, I'll never forget my first time going to New York. You know how you're in Times Square and people were like, "Hey, you like comedy? You want to see a Dave Attell show?" And they get assholes like me that just came to New York for my first time. Somebody came up to me and hit me up for, "Would you want to see Dave Attell tonight?" And I'm like, Fuck yeah, I want to see Dave Attell like live in New York. Rad. Bought the tickets, went to the show. No Dave Attell.
No.
They just sold me on
that
Dave
sucks.
Attell. But I mean, I had a great time, but I've still never seen Dave Attell. You have, I believe. Didn't you tell me you've
I've
seen him live?
twice.
He's my
actually.
favorite.
He was fucking awesome.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
We've always loved him. We're so stoked to have you on, and we've had the Sklar brothers on.
They're
and
wonderful.
We're just like, dude, these are
we've been
all
lucky.
comedians that we've always loved, and now that we have this podcast, we like
We're like, we get to
get
hang
to
out with
hang
them.
out with them.
Well, it's very interesting. You're at the Comedy Store. If you really take a look at like what not only is the Comedy Store mecca of comedy, it is somewhat mecca of comedy podcasting.
Totally.
All the big guys kind of were working there when their podcast started.
Yep.
Joe Rogan, obviously, and the tree of Rogan,
Yep.
which is like Joey Diaz. Not that they're his, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
Joe
they were on his
Rogan,
show a
Duncan
lot.
Trussell,
Yep.
Red Band, Ari Shafir, and you can just go down. Brian Callen, Firing the Kid with Brendan Schaub, and then you have like Mark Maron, Bill Burr, all those guys, the Sklar
D'Elia.
brothers,
Yep.
Bobby Lee, all out of the Comedy Store. And it's like
amazing.
insane.
It's
And it was
fucking
funny
amazing.
when you were talking about earlier with the ghost stories, how you're like, this is when the Comedy Store was dead. Like, think about that, because Duddy was there last night, and they said that when they arrived, line around the
dude.
fucking block.
On the block.
On a Monday night. So
Monday.
comedy is so fiery ass hot right now. Like, it was hot in the 80s. There was like loads of specials coming out, and then it's all, dude, comedy's like skateboarding. It's weird. It's like, where did skateboarding go for 6 years? And then all of a sudden, fucking everyone's on a skate. Comedy never dies off, but it is hot
It's
as
hot.
fuck right now.
I honestly think that a lot of it has to do with podcasts because
Yeah.
if you're a
100%.
if you're a
time.
comedian in this day and age, you probably have a podcast, and it
Absolutely.
really gives like listeners a chance to like connect with the comedians.
peer-to-peer is the
You know,
future, brother.
totally.
They're trying to lock this down, and it's just when Joe Rogan's podcast, which is always top 3 of all, is
It's just
free.
huge. Yeah.
It like everyone's trying to do this, like all these companies are trying to get these podcasts to be on. It's never gonna. It's peer-to-peer, dude. We were kind of talking about music. I was asking, is like music in a great place? I think music and stand. It's very interesting. stand-up and porn stars are very similar. If you really break down their business model and our business model, you know, we both do one big thing. We'll do a special. They'll do a porno. We have podcasting. They have camming. You know, we have Patreon. They have fans only. They literally call when they do strip bars, headlining.
I was going to say, they go on tour.
Same thing. I'm sure music has got to be like that, or it should be like that, where you just go peer to peer, right? Where you guys just reach your own, where you go right and you kind of cut out. Like, I think, like, FM radio, I have friends of mine, like Megan Holiday's one of my favorite people on the planet. She works at K-Rock, you know. But I feel like if you want to get the good shit, you got, like, I don't know if you guys like Spotify or whatever, but it's like I've learned it's really sad that the Spotify AI knows me better than like women who've been in my life. They know what
tells
songs
you exactly what you want.
Oh, you'll love this. You're like, I don't want love it, you know. And like the peer-to-peers like change the game. So I book a show call, and you guys are anytime you want to go. It's every other Tuesday. It's called Comedy Chaos. We sell out 2 nights in the main room, 2 shows in the main room. Every other Tuesday.
We'll fucking be there.
Wait, a comedy store?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
We'll be there.
Anytime you guys want to go, you can come as my guest. It's like one of the premier shows there. And I'm telling you, the guys who sell the tickets are the podcast people.
Yep.
I know people on major TV shows or what are believed to be major TV shows that have less followers than me on Twitter. Not that is what you're worth, but, you know, based on your popularity.
Yep.
And mine's all off of podcasting.
Yep. People, it gives people a chance to connect and feel like they know someone.
Well, you get to be 100% yourself. If
Yeah.
you're on any form of heightened media, then there's FCC. You can't say things that you really want to say, and there's an agenda because they're obviously going for certain type of advertisers, and you kind of got to cater to those advertisers or you lose them. Whereas podcasts, it's like you can say and do whatever the fuck you want, and thank God for the CBD industry because they sponsor every fucking. There's no such thing as a
I love it.
It's awesome, and CBD, they're like, we don't really care what you're talking about as long as people are using CBD. You know, it's like
Dude,
it's this
I have
beautiful
so
thing.
many people that hit me up and it's like, dude, I've never used CBD until I started listening to your podcast, and I fucking love it.
Every podcast, like so, there's other forms. CBD companies can't advertise on TV and shit. They're not allowed.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah. It's like insane.
Like, dude, I got in big trouble on YouTube because I had links, and that's something you guys got to know. Don't put the links of your sponsors in your ads on YouTube.
I didn't know that.
I would go back and take them all out.
They're going to come up and go,
They did that to me. They nixed my whole thing because I was selling boner pills and CBD. And I'm like, dude, what? I mean, like, dude, we've been through censorship over the years. Like, how many great philosophers were like, you know, the Earth isn't the center of the universe. They got killed. And then you had Lenny Bruce getting killed for dirty jokes. I'm getting nixed for boner pills, dude.
Come on.
That's how far it's come.
Man. And we're just doing all the shit. It's so, I mean, CBD, we know that. I mean, like, if you look at YouTube, you can say whatever you want about it, but, you know, YouTube's like, if you get rid of Holocaust denial, I think we can all agree on like Holocaust denial is a stupid, stupid topic. Flat Earth, you could say whatever you want about that, and then you kind of then the other thing that videos are getting rid of natural remedies, and you're like, why are you doing that? And it's just like, well, because probably YouTube is owned by the pharmaceutical companies,
totally,
and they don't want you knowing that you don't have to get hooked on OxyContin to get rid of fucking pain, man.
Yeah.
And like, why do we put up with these people, man? Why do we let these companies tell us what we can or cannot do? Rage, rage into the night.
It's changing. You know, hopefully it'll change sooner than later. But you know, it's just fucking money, man.
We'll just have to keep bouncing around. Like YouTube was the place to go to say whatever you want.
Yep.
It's slowly going to become not that. There'll be another spot, I suppose, and we'll just have to keep fucking going to where we can say whatever we want.
You'll be amazed at how many people are like, if it's not on YouTube, I won't follow it. But then they complain about censorship on YouTube. It's like, no, dude, YouTube will become network television where it's just only for the stupid.
Yeah, because in the end, they do sell sponsorship, and eventually sponsors they'll choose an avenue, and if you're not in that avenue, you're out.
You're out.
Or at least you won't be. They won't show you to anyone. They'll unsubscribe people. And our show's vast majority listeners. So we know that. Like, we're on YouTube, and that'll grow, but we get
99% of our
1,000% more
listening.
listeners.
Yeah, for sure.
So
but they'll
but-
discover it through smart TVs, and they'll start
Yeah.
watching it, and you guys will be like their view. That's
Yeah.
what happens.
Yeah. Well, we hope.
And then we won't be able to say shit.
Yeah.
We'll just be on there like fucking wearing shiny ass shit and dancing.
My question is, why on Twitter is there not an edit button? It's 2020. Why can't, dude? You ever have put out an epic tweet and you're like,
I just
typo? You're
want
like,
to edit
no!
it. That is true. Why can't I edit it?
I sound so smart what I said, but then I spelled this the wrong your. Fuck.
I know there was an apostrophe.
Yeah. And everyone's just like, fucking idiot, next tweet. Like, I
Dude.
said some shit there.
You
And
know what, though?
if I can get like 50 likes, I'm so happy. And then you'll have like 45 your likes. You're like, do I take it down?
Yeah.
Oh, I love all those likes. Wow.
Oh, fuck.
They
Yeah, I
make
don't want
me
to get
so
rid of
happy.
those likes for new potential. Like, fuck.
Just because I spelled your wrong.
Yeah, you have to send out a quick tweet after it with
yeah.
with the asterisk and the correct your.
Dude.
Yeah, we knew.
You don't need to
for
do that. We
Pete's
talked about this
sakes.
on the show. You don't. First off,
Oh, yeah, we had
don't
we
be
had a
the
segment.
fucking dipshit that goes, you spelled your wrong.
Grammar Nazis.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Worst.
But
we
also,
had a segment called the to don't list, things to don't do anymore. We kind of know more words, kind of booted it, and that was the
That
first
was it.
one.
It was like,
was
we don't need
stop
to correct.
grammar policing.
but
online.
it goes both ways. Don't fucking comment on people's grammar. It is who gives a shit. And
Yeah.
then, but also, if you fucked up something, don't go asterisk and fucking redo it. No one
It's
cares.
so tempting, but
It's not that
It
they're like
is tempting.
It's not
You
like
don't
you're
want
like
people to
but
think
you're
it's
not. It's not
dumb.
like someone's reading it going, "You fucking idiot." Oh, never mind. Okay, you're
But they
good.
do
You're-
do that.
they are doing that, but we just have to go. Who cares?
I want to go. I know I messed up. I want you to know I know I messed up, just so they know.
It's up to us, the readers of said tweet, to if it's the wrong your, we have to be smart enough to go.
Let it go.
They knew.
They knew.
They
They messed
knew.
up.
Let
It
it
was
go.
a
in a
mistake.
rush. He was
And then
in a
we all
rush,
just
and you
move on with our
whatever,
lives.
We move on. Yeah.
Fuck,
So
well, we just
speaking
that
of
guy,
moving on,
that was the most important thing we did today, right there.
Dude, we're doing the Lord's work.
We
Dude, you know what?
absolutely are.
That shit was woke.
We're the Lords. Oh, fuck. Yeah,
Literally.
absolutely.
Let's get
Fuck,
into
so
the fucking
divisive.
last
Divisive,
segment
but
of the
so
day. Band camp. That's where we just allow our guests to just tell us a good story of their time of whatever.
On the road,
Just
something
time of
crazy. And we
living.
got a drop for
One-
that, too.
Although this episode has all just turned into a bunch of stories, but hopefully we get one more good one.
Dude, I feel like we could probably talk for 400 hours
Yeah.
and it would just be more, but
Oh,
It's
and
me
this
yelling
one
at
time
people.
band
they're the
camp-
best. We talked over that one, too. We won't get
That's okay.
sued for that, but yeah, fuck it.
So here's a story that I haven't told that often that I think people would like to hear. You never know who is going to show up to your show. So like for the longest time, I played the Comedy Store. I got picked up when Mitzi was looking for a Middle Eastern show. And I tell the story about how, Duncan Trussell and Mazda Brown. He's like, hey, we think we can get you in the store. She's like, are you Middle Eastern? I'm like, I'm Armenian. They're like, close enough. So I do this whole show.
We can
and
work
this
with
is
that.
a little leading into it. I do this whole show, and I have a really great showcase. And Mitzi's like, "Hey, are you Syrian?" I'm like, "Yeah." I be honest, I didn't even know what Syrian was at that moment, but at that moment, I am totally Syrian.
You're like, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I get picked up, and so I go to the Comedy Store, and for the longest time, I'm getting bumped by, Andrew Dice Clay all the time, or she's making me follow Joe Rogan, and I'm learning lessons on how to survive in bad situations. So one day, I would go down, I do the La Jolla Comedy Store, and I would show up, and I always knew when it was a rowdy, bad crowd because the staff would be like, "Oh, it's a Tripoli crowd." I'm like, "What does that mean?" They're like, "Look at it. It's just like drunk bourgeois people just fucking heckling the comics." So, I've done some. I mean, La Jolla's so rich, and the kids there want to act like they're white trash, And I'm from 607. I'm from ghetto country. I know like hood farmers, like tweakers with tractors and guns. Like I know trailer trash, and they want to act like they're trailer trash. So, I've had people jump me, like swing on me. But one day I'm doing a show, and this one dude is just heckling me hard, and I'm a really good. I'm just bam, 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 and like the blessings of when you're young is like the lessons you learn as a kid later on become tools you use to survive later on. And me and my friends at some point we'd stopped physically fighting with each other, and we had gotten like verbal assassins. We go to this pizza place, we'd sit in this one table, and you would just get pounded on. You had to be like Bruce Lee fighting 8 dudes at one time verbally. And I'd go to college, it was called the Tripoli low blow, where they would buzz, they give me shit, and I just kneecap them. They're like, dude,
with something.
It's who I am.
You brought it there.
So I'm doing this show, and this dude is just fucking like going at me, and I'm just lighting him up, and I could tell he's getting angry.
He's getting angry.
So I go, oh, you think you got something, brother? He's like, I got something. I go, come on, you think? I just go, you think you're sexier than me? He goes, yeah, I think I'm sexier than you. I'm like, come up here and let's have a sexy dance competition, because that's how I kind of diffuse it. So he comes up, he brings his girlfriend up, I bring this other chick up, and we're doing this shit. You know, he does his sexy dance, and just to give you an understanding of who this dude is, he's built like a dude who just did like 30 years in prison. You know, like
he's just
wife beater, like prison shredded, where it's like they don't have anything to lift, so they just throw cinder blocks all over the place. That's how he is.
They lift each other.
He's old man dancing with her like your grandpa at a wedding, right? And I had this move called the reverse skull hump, where I grab a chick, flip her over, and skull hump her all, and it's a sealed deal, right?
Standing 69 situation.
So I get done, everyone gives me a huge standing O. The guy shakes my hand, he shakes my, I'm like, oh, dude, this guy ain't afraid, dude. You know, he's got that grip. And he gets off, he's like, hey, good job, and he walks up. The staff, after everyone's leaving, runs up to me like, you don't know who that dude is. And I go, and they told me his name. He's like, bro, that guy just got banned from California for a year because he was fighting all these cops, and they were tasering. Why he poured vodka down him, right? I'm like, oh my God. He goes, and his girlfriend was just at a Christmas party and got in a fight with this chick for staring at her boyfriend, grabbed her head and slammed it, bam, bam, like fucking Brad Pitt in Once Upon a Time. Bam, bam, bam. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, dude, I can't believe I survived that. So one day I'm on YouTube, right? And just to know who this dude is, suddenly this clip comes up about San Diego biker fucking fights San Diego cop. And it's that dude. Who was
Oh, you almost
the
died.
sexy dance saved it, because if you would have fucking Sam Tripoli low blowed his ass,
I would have been done. And this
would have
dude
been
is
waiting
to
for
fight
you.
all of San Diego Police Department.
He would have been
you think he
waiting
won't fight you?
for
Yeah.
you. He would have been out in the parking lot waiting.
Waiting for me, and that's happened before, dude.
I always think about that with comedians.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's got to be so many awkward walks to the cars, because
it's so weird. It's like going to a kid's party and fighting the clown. It's like,
you're like, dude,
we're just here to have laugh. Why are you fighting with everybody?
It's just people who just want it. It's all about them, and they just want the show to be. Everyone look at me.
Weird,
dude.
You know.
Yeah. So you've had that.
I've
People
had
in the
so
parking lot
many,
like, what's
dude.
up, motherfucker? Think you're funny?
I've had people throw shit at me.
You're like, yeah, I do think I'm funny. I'm a comedian. That's what it's all about.
It started with that.
So I was doing a show one time. One more story. I do a show at the La Jolla Comedy Store again, and it's going well. And these two drunk couples come in again, bourgeois trash. The women sit down and they just start heckling me. And I wish I'd filmed this, because I felt it was like the most scientific heckle kill ever. I start jabbing them, bam, bam, bam. Then I get the crowd to boo them. Then I get the crowd to kick them out. And they eventually start to get kicked out. So I introduced my friend Brett Ernst, who's one of the funniest comics I've ever met. Brett comes on stage. He's like, hey, dude, watch out. They're getting a little weird back there. I think those dudes are looking for trouble. I'm like, fuck them, right? And I get off stage and I go and I sit in the middle of the lobby of the La Jolla Comedy Store, and that they had a foosball table right in the middle of it, which was weird, but we were sitting on it, and all of a sudden this drunk guy kind of stumbles out, and I'm like, oh, I think that guy's with them, and he walks up to me, and I go, he's probably going to apologize. He goes, hey, are you the comedian who was on stage? I go, yeah. He goes, whack, and he smacks the fuck out of me, and I go, dude, you just hit me. And out of nowhere, every employee who ever worked at the Comedy Store comes out of the woodwork, and we start fucking whacking this dude. And I'm like teeing off. His buddy comes, we get him too. So his buddy's trying to pull him off, but they have a door that's locked, and his one leg's on the side, so he can't pull him off. So eventually, the woman's like, I'm on the city council. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You caused this shit. So they get him out, and we watch them, and they're screaming at him because they just got their asses kicked. And I don't know why people want to come to fight comics.
You're going to a comedy store, or you're going to to a comedy show, fucking laugh.
It's kind of like
Just
what
laugh.
we're talking about words. It's like, I'm so blessed there's not a word you could call me to get me upset.
No.
Like, I'm Armenian, and I didn't know what that meant until I moved to LA, and I realized everybody hates Armenians because they're like the taxi drivers who scream at everybody. But
Is that the thing?
oh, dude,
We're just over here. We're just like I knew one Armenian, my buddy Armin Azadorian, and he was great.
he's great.
But in LA, they get shit all over.
Oh yeah, because they drive the taxis or Uber drivers, and everybody just like, oh, I fucking hate Armenian. But I don't get mad at Armenian jokes.
Okay, there is one thing that I've realized very recently that you can say to me that makes me fucking upset, and Jared will do this to me all the time, and we've done it to other people now, and so if you love dogs and you're a dog person, if someone goes, "Oh, you're just not a dog person, are you?" You're like, "No, I am." I don't. I don't think you're just not a dog person. Ooh, it fucking gets me. Like, you walk into a house or something, you go
dare
somewhere,
you
like the
allow
dog
someone-
like doesn't really like you, and like, you're just not a dog person.
Oh,
Like, no,
yeah.
no, I am.
Yeah.
I don't think you are.
Just not dog
Like, no,
material.
dog's not. I don't know.
Fucking
Ooh,
little
that fucking
personal
kinda
insight.
hurts,
That's
right?
a low. That's a low hitter.
That's a low-
it's
that's a
weird.
low
I hate the
low
word
slammer.
soothing too. I should add that.
Yeah,
I hate the
soothing.
word soothing.
Just the way it sounds,
well,
or
because
the way it is.
I feel you have to. You want to say the word, and you're just setting. It never comes out naturally.
That's very
No one
soothing.
says, you know,
Yeah,
dude,
there's
that
no-
was
yeah.
such a soothing thing. No, it's like, oh, I'm gonna say soothing right now, and you
Yeah.
just kind of
You're
set
fucking
it up.
right, because I don't think I've ever said soothing. Why would I ever describe anything as soothing? I would just say, like the only thing that could ever be soothing is a bath, I suppose, and
Yeah.
I would just say I don't take baths, but
Yeah.
I guess I'd say that was a great bath.
Yeah, but it sounds so
soothing.
soothing. I'll fight
Oh,
everybody.
all right.
Oh, dude,
Well, we'll end
you
this
fucking,
one.
You know
We'll
what?
end this one on a fucking another. I got another one too.
Soothing, dude.
And I'm going to say this
Really
every
no
episode.
reason to say it.
I've already said it on a few this season, and I'm going to keep saying another word that I hear every fucking day from every label person and
Soothing.
everything,
Now
and
I
I just
hate
can't fucking take it.
Oh, here it comes.
Algorithm.
Oh, he hates the word algorithm.
Algorithm.
I hate
Oh, it's
it.
all about the algorithms. Nah!
Oh, algorithm's a way to explain away anything.
What's the algorithms?
Why are our numbers algorithm? How come
Nerds
it's
love
algorithm?
algorithms.
Oh,
It's how
fuck.
they force themselves into everything.
Fucking
Those
algorithms.
motherfuckers.
Analytics.
All right, let's
Oh,
fucking do
you
this. Anything
sons
you
of
want to
real
plug before we
bitches.
get out of here?
When does this come out, by the way?
This one will be.
I almost want to just put this one out this week.
we could,
I know, 'cause I think we've
our
stacked
season 2
enough. I like
starts
this
February.
episode.
We were going to start just releasing them all starting in February, and this, I think, is episode 4 of season 2.
All right.
But we'll see.
or way sooner. I just
Or
feel
way
like-
sooner.
I
We'll
feel
see.
like we've got
Maybe we'll
enough.
release this Wednesday.
Oh, you want us?
We'll see.
What do you
Well,
want?
no, whatever you guys want. I just whatever you guys want.
You got
I
something?
just had dates this weekend, but check out samtripoli.com for all my dates. Check out Tinfoil Hat with Sam Tripoli if you want to hear some fun, weird, unreported stuff. If you love Punch Drunk Sports, and if you want to see my stand-up, my specials for free, you can go to samtripoli.com, and I shot my special at the Viper Room. No one's ever shot or recorded a comedy there, so I'm the first guy
That's
to
very
do
cool.
it. And you can see both episodes. One's called Armageddon, and the other one's called Zero Fucks, and they're both available on my website, samtripoli.com.
Love it.
Brilliant.
Also, thanks again to everyone at Reamp Studios. Always a great time here. And cutlassbrand.com. Go to cutlassbrand.com, put in code FEELINGGOOD at checkout, and you're going to get 20% off your order. And always, if you are listening to this and you're enjoying this podcast, please leave us a comment, give us a rating. Helps us keep the show going. And our Patreon page. We also have a Patreon, patreon.com/feelinggoodwithduddy. All sorts of behind the scenes from this episode and every episode and lots of other fun stuff. Check it out.
Yeah, if you want to check out my show, The Morning Ride Show, every Wednesday, every Friday, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's just on my Instagram page. Go to Snake Bush Snell. Fucking live. I drive to work. I talk shit. But Sam, I wanted you. What's the Tuesday show you do at the Comedy Store?
Every other Tuesday, I do a very popular show called Comedy Chaos. We just celebrated our 57th sold out show, and we do two every Tuesday. So 4 shows a month, sold out, and it's like Rogan, D'Elia, Callan, all the great. It's a comedy festival lineup every other Tuesday. So
Jeez.
That sounds amazing.
you guys are more than welcome.